Alright, hello everybody. I'm going to be making a quick video. So when I was doing this, I could not find any solid tutorials that will teach you this in one place. And this is what that is going to do. I had a lot of trouble getting this working. And I thought, since I was able to figure it out with the help of other people, why not make this video to help everyone else who's kind of stumbled on the same issue as I did and doesn't want to spend 5 minutes scouring the German Nitrado forums and translating them or looking on Discords and trying to get that figured out with other people. So I decided I would make this and consolidate it all into one place. So this isn't going to teach you how to add shit like the expansion mod or anything like that. It's just simply not that simple. It's simply not that simple. And also, I've encountered issues running it through this way, so don't bother with that. But this will help you with smaller mods. Anything that's simplistic, really, like good examples of modular vest system, any clothing mods, gun mods, stuff like that. Anything that is fairly simple and doesn't require a lot of effort to do. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is I have DayZ in my games folder. And another thing, you're gonna need WinSCP. It's a free service. All you have to do is just go on their website and download it and use the FTP info under your server dashboard, which I would show, but I don't want my FTP credentials being shown up there. So if you own a Nitrado server on PC, you likely already know what your FTP credentials are, and if you don't, it's pretty simple. Just it's at the bottom of your dashboard. You can't miss it, and you will log into WinSCP with that. So once you've done that, I'll link WinSCP in the description as well. Once you've done that, now what you're gonna want to do is first things first. You're gonna want to go to your games folder. I have mine under here. It's just not going to look the same for you. Yours will likely be under your program files, but if you're watching this, like I said, you probably already know that. So you're going to want to go to Steam Apps, whoops, Steam Apps, Common, and then DayZ, not DayZ Server. That doesn't matter. This will always be hidden. Every time you add a mod, this will be hidden. It will be re-hidden. You're going to have to unhide it. I don't know how to permanently do that. So you just uncheck hidden, press this apply to changes to this folder, subfolders, and files. Once you do that, you go to your workshop, and then you'll have all of your mods here. So the first thing you're going to want to do, so right here I have Cloud's clothing set. I'm going to upload this. Now you're just going to want to wait for it to upload. Don't do anything else to it. Don't add any other files to the queue. Don't do anything like that. Wait for it to upload. It won't take very long. Like as you can see here, I have slower internet, so it's not obviously instantly going to upload. But so we're just going to wait for that. Okay. And once that's done, now you're going to want to go to the Cloud's clothing set. So this is the most important part, and this is what I didn't know. You're going to need to go to the keys of the mod, copy it, go back to the main folder, scroll down, go to keys. These are the server keys. You're going to want to paste it into here. Some mod creators will have shared keys. So once you have their key, you don't need to copy it. So let's say I use two mods from Donald19 is a good example. I use two mods from him. I don't need another key. It's already done. All of his mods will be keyed in. I've tested this. I know it works. Just in case, try and copy and paste the keys in. If it gives you an error and says it's already in there, don't bother. And once you've done that, now you're going to want to pop over to your Nitrado server. You're going to want to go down here. So as you can see, you have at this, at that. Every mod you add, you're going to put a semicolon. You're going to put at, look back in your folder, and you want to make sure the name is exactly right. It has to be, and oh yeah, here's a perfect example of what you want to do. So mods that have spaces, put them all together. You don't want any symbols, anything like that, because that can cause the process to get screwed up and it won't register the mod properly. So delete any spaces, any symbols, all that. You don't want any of those in there. Always leave the at though. You never want to get rid of that. But you never want to have symbols of any kind like that. You don't want those. So the next thing is you just put clouds clothing set. I think what is that? Yep. Once you do that, you're gonna want to save your changes. Give it a second. Always make sure that the server is stopped. Like I just didn't, so I'm gonna have to stop and restart it. But you always want to stop your server before you make changes. It's very important. So you're just going to stop the server beforehand. If you don't, it won't destroy the server or anything. But it can cause issues sometimes. I've never really had serious issues, only once. But if that happens, all you have to do is just go here, reinstall the server. It will delete everything, and it will wipe the server. So there is probably a better way to fix it. If you have a bigger server with a lot of players, which I wouldn't recommend using Nitrado for, but I would always have a backup. Always save backups if you're going to have a large server. This is just a 4-player server that my friend owns, and I'm just editing it for him. So once the server is shut down or restart, you're going to go into your game, and a good test to see if it's working is once the server loads up, there should be a little, it will say, oh, it requires this mod now. So you should see that mod required. You load in. If you get an error that says anything like, scripts are incorrect, something like that, then you've probably named it wrong, gotten the name wrong, something like that. Which you just have to either rename it or fiddle with it. But honestly, you really shouldn't run into any issues most of the time. So I guess now we're just gonna test it. Okay, Nitrado is pretty fucking slow, but like I was saying, this isn't like a complex guide. I really don't know much about Nitrado in general, but this is just a simple thing that you can do to get it working. So now the server's up. If you don't see the server now, the server's not going to pop up instantly because Nitrado is slow, like I said. But if you don't see the server at all, it doesn't show up. That means that you're running a mod that's too heavy for the servers to handle, or you have mistyped something, or the server's encountered an error and it needs to be restarted. This will happen if you try to add things like the expansion mod. Anything above 600 or 500 megabytes is a no-go. You don't want to do that. That will always crash the servers in my experience, or crash your server in my experience. It won't start. It won't start. It doesn't want to go. It does not want to start. If you want to add bigger mods, heavier mods, you're gonna have to go for another provider because Nitrado is just simply bad. Their servers are not good. Um, at least that is what I've heard. So here we go. You can see my server now. I'm gonna join. Scroll down, and I should see Cloud's clothing items. And there you go, Cloud's clothing set, and it'll load it from my library. That means that you've gotten it right. You should not get any errors when you load in. I doubt I will, and you shouldn't either. But if you do, just leave a comment or something, and I'll try my best to help you out. But yeah, that's everything. Sorry for the rambliness of this video. It's unscripted, but yeah, that's it.